I was going to say up to snatch then. I don't know what word it is that's supposed to be there. Up to snatch. They're not really up to snatch. That episode of South Park. The only one I can think of at the moment is the Human Centipede iPad. Centipad episode. And I think I went twice in it. I understand where you're coming from with this, because when you've created something, you don't expect to have to do it again. That's just tedious and annoying. So what I suggest to you is just get a knife and just cut and keep cutting. And then he's out of your life for good, and no regretting necessary. I went to see a recording of a shit internet TV show hosted by Robert Webb, and I think maybe my opinion of him has been marred somewhat. But I think David Mitchell was always the winner here. Incredibly smart dude, incredibly funny dude, in all situations. Robert Webb is awesome as Jez. Excellent, excellent, excellent. If it was Jez versus Mark, I might even have some difficulty. But if it's David Mitchell versus Robert Webb, there's no contest. Do comedy classes exist? I mean, I guess they do, but I feel like they'd strip anyone of any comedy they had. Whenever you have a group of people deciding what's funny and what's not, you generally end up with something that's homogenized shit, and it's not a good thing, so I think I'll avoid that and just maybe do it one day. I'm feeling buck wild. I've been having incredibly boring breakfasts recently, which don't make for good stories. I eat porridge and coffee morningly, and it's something I'm kind of ashamed of, but also it's a good breakfast, man. It's a good base for the day. It starts off, and it's nice to have that there. As soon as I start chomping breads, delicious breads at breakfast, then I have a hunger for breads that just cannot be tamed. But breads is fucking great. I love breads. I'm really bad at bowling. Like, kinda joke bad. I mean, not quite joke bad, but I have this thing where it curls every fucking time. I don't mean it to, but every time it curls, so I have to aim off slightly. And that doesn't make it straightforward, and it's not consistent either. So I'm pretty much near the bottom of the pile in the bowling screen. And that really hurts my soul quite deeply. I'm not able to cope with that well. And I expect myself to get better, but it doesn't seem to happen. So Laser Quest, even though it's really expensive and I haven't done it for ages, I would love to do it if it was cheaper. Cheaper! God damn it, fucking London. Kinda. Sometimes, if I'm not doing something I should really be doing imminently, then it's like everything I'm doing is a fucking waste, but I don't feel it quite so much as I could do, which means I don't stop, I think, often. But when I have nothing to do and I'm just like, you know, lying on the bed for 4 hours watching a fly, I'm very happy to do that, and I enjoy every wasted second. I play Akuma, and I play Akuma so much that anytime I try and play any other character, I'm still trying to throw air fireballs. Don't get me wrong on this, I'm not one of the people who will stick absolutely to DDoS 2 in any sort of, in an actual game where, you know, you play and then you die and you wait for the next round. I like to play all the maps, most of the maps in that situation. I don't like just playing DDoS 2 over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, like a lot of people do. But I spent quite a lot of time on deathmatch servers that are DDoS 2 just constantly, and it gets me into a very nice state of mind that is probably unhealthy, but I just know everywhere on that map, and it's fucking perfect for that setup, and I really like deathmatch, even though I'm slightly ashamed of it, just because it seems like Tardo Counter-Strike or Counter-Strike. But I do it, and I love it. I'm really enjoying Gun Game lately, which is another example, I feel, of retardo Counter-Strike. But, I don't know. When a new Counter-Strike game comes out, I promise I'll play it properly. I promise. I don't really like DDoS though. Like, the original DDoS, I think it's a little, I don't know. I played it so much, getting flashbanged down that stupid, when you go left and there's the thing. And then if you go the other way, which I liked doing with my AK-47, you get sniped. And that's just super good with the AK-47, so I always wanted to go that way, because sometimes you can knock them off and feel fucking amazing. But I never felt I don't know, it doesn't do well for me. I'm sort of slightly rash, and that map is very much, it pays to not ever do anything risky, and I'm not such a fan of those kind of maps. In the summer, I get kind of a colour, and freckles, which just look like I got splattered with dirt. One year I was on a beach, a nude beach in Barcelona. I didn't get naked, come on. I was led there under false pretenses. Damn you, Rafa. This guy was called Rafa, he owned the hostel, he worked at the hostel. Really liked the fact I was doing physics, because quantum mechanics means that, you know, hippie, Rafa, come on. Anyway, when I went to this beach, I was kinda, oh fuck, I've been in Spain for 3 weeks and I'm not burnt in the slightest. I am amazing. Do a little bit of the old but really, I'm pretty much invulnerable to this frying heat and UV rays. Came away from that with pretty bad, pretty weird, pretty quilted tan that was just like lines and patches and weirdness, kind of looked like a disease. So I had some tan, but even then it wasn't like, a tan. It was just easily delineated from the regular transparency. So, transparent. That's the way I am. I didn't go outside for a really long time when I was a kid, and it makes me think that rickets is a myth. Keep at it. I don't know what you like or don't like, or what you might or might not have heard of, therefore. I've been listening to Paul Bazan a lot recently. He's from Pedro the Lion. One of my favourite bands is called Saetia, S-A-E-T-I-A. You might hate them. Don't know who you are. Probably hate them. I'm seeing The Weakerthans this month, quite soon. Ooh. And Modern Life is War are a good band that I've been listening to quite a bit lately, who I didn't listen to for a long time. Austin Lucas is like a country dude that I like listening to. I've seen him a few times, and his songs are really great, and his lyrics are great, but as soon as he gets on stage, he can't fucking talk for shit, and it's like weird disparity. Algernon Cadwallader, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see them live. They're playing in July, and I'm probably not going to be here. I bought a ticket for it just in case I'm here. They're really good, really like them. Those are some just off the top of my crown for you. This is such a weird question. I remember when I was a kid, I was on the internet. I was just talking to some guy. I wasn't a kid, I was like 14 or 15. And I said I was from England. And he stopped talking to me because he said there's no black people in England, and he was black. It stuck with me as a strange thing. Also, I was outside once. Fucking anecdotes. And I stopped because I was waiting to meet someone. Just as these black guys were walking by, and the black guy turned to me and said, "Fucking racist." I haven't dated a black guy, but if he was a cool guy, sure, why not? Except I have a boyfriend who's not black, sorry. At the moment, it's YU. YU, blah, 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 with a Y. And Le does something. Le does something. Bleh. I fucking hate it all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. I mean, because I have this weird thing I do on the internet that's a bit like this, I feel like anything anyone says to me doesn't quite apply to the actual me that is me just hanging out on my computer reading them. So that's kind of helpful, but I think even if that wasn't there, it's just like the internet is just it's a whole new world, and don't you dare close your eyes, but just laugh wholeheartedly the whole way. It's a magic carpet ride. Slightly despairing and somewhat depressed. It's my favourite kind of comedy, and just very honest and unashamed. People who have no consideration for other people, basically. If you're stupid, I don't really give a fuck as long as it doesn't affect me directly. Such as was the case yesterday in a cinema. If you're stupid, be quiet and I really won't mind. It won't affect me. Won't impact on my life. But if you're stupid and you talk in a cinema, then life sucks. Life just sucks when I'm sitting in there and you're talking. There was a guy next to me yesterday. I turned to him and said, shh. Yeah, I went there. Sometimes you say shut up, but this was early on. And I just went, shh, because he said, sorry. But he was still talking to himself, sometime afterwards. It's not alright. And there was somebody else with a fuck off bag of popcorn, and then get some, and she was just staring ahead. Like, I just kept just looking at her, just like, what the fuck? But she was quite far away and didn't know I was staring in hatred. But I mean, she seemed kind of just absolutely oblivious to the insane amount of noise she was making at regular intervals. And I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. People are just so oppressive and stupid, and that drives me crazy. If you're stupid and quiet, that's alright. I guess you can still exist. Be better if you didn't, but I'll give you a free pass. If you're loud and annoying in the cinema, or even just get your phone out to check a message, then fucking you're gone. I've talked about Wolfram Alpha before, but I'm going to talk about it again. Because although at that time I said it was a great thing, it was going to be great, all I use it for is quick integration when I'm doing a bunch of homework and can't be fucked. Well, you kind of have to be fucked. They don't let you not be fucked, even if it's by parts integration. They want to see every constituent part, no matter how tedious it is. So I just use it to check my result is reasonable. By parts. I don't know. I don't have any plans at the moment, and might not have money for that kind of shit. I would really like to go to Gamescom in Cologne, but fuck, man, Cologne, place to stay in Cologne is so expensive. Germany is a dick of mammoth proportions, as has been historically the case. Fucking hotels follow suit, and hostels, like 20 quid a night for a dorm room. Jesus. I'm really bad at favourites, so this is going to be shit, just to forewarn you. Books. I don't even know what to say as a possibility. Lord of the Rings. That's very safe, isn't it? It's like saying The Godfather Part 2 is your favourite film, which I also will say in a favourite film list. I don't really have specific favourites because I can't do it, because I'm weak. I really liked House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielowski, even though his follow-up was beyond shit and made me question the original book. And I haven't read it for many years, so I'm kind of going on my younger opinion, which probably isn't very trustworthy. I think it's somewhat trustworthy, but not the whole way. The Bandini Quartet by John Fante. Specifically Ask the Dust. I haven't seen the film because I don't want to see the film because the whole thing is dreadful. Colin Farrell. I mean, I hate Colin Farrell, but I like him sometimes, and that kind of makes me like Colin Farrell, but for the most part, he's not good. He's not. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that now, because it's been fucking too long, in a too long zone, and I've answered the first question. Actress Cate Blanchett. holiday, Euro trip. I don't know what year it was in, with Flufffest that I've talked about previously, that you can go back and check, and I said the wrong date then. So good. Dessert, I'm skipping right to the end because the others were too challenging for me. Tiramisu, maybe? I really like tiramisu a lot, but I also really like carrot cake. You know what? I just kind of fucking love cake in all of its different forms. I love, like, heavy chocolate cake. Oh, it's gone by. I can't even relate to you how shocked I would be. The thing is, you don't even get to see the best ones because I can't even think of a way to answer them. I could just stare at the webcam instead of, you know, trying to say anything about them. But I feel like that might get a bit old. I'm really sorry for questions that have been asked to you, Haggis, and others. Whoever's doing it, can you please stop? Because it's embarrassing and a bit shit. And makes me look like a dick too, I think, so I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Well, I wouldn't want to be so bold as to say, you tell me. I went to see Win Win at the Cineworld Haymarket, and it was good. Do you want to know why it was good? There are 3 things that made it good. Okay, ready? It was cheap, it was quite big, and it was quiet. 3 things out of all of the things in the world. Just 3. What? Why is that so hard? What? Why? What? Why? What? Aliens. And I'll tell you for why. So ghosts are proven to exist, and therefore they've existed for all these years, with pretty much 0 impact on any of our lives, apart from maybe someone saw a ghost once. And the expression, you look like you saw a ghost. Because you're white and scared of a ghost. Ghosts are boring. Really, really boring. Aliens aren't. They might come and fuck our shit up. And won't that make for an exciting time? I do read, alright? Let's not portray me as some form of illiterate. I'm just busy. Have I done this before? Probably. That's the way it goes. Off the back of Dune, I'd probably recommend The Earthsea Quartet by Ursula K. Le Guin. Because in my mind it's in the same sort of box, because I don't have categories, just fucking boxes in my brain. Or, if you really want to go for the serious element, I don't know, like, I recently read The Foundation, the first book in the series by Isaac Asimov, and I thought it was going to be really boring from lots of people telling me, yeah, it's really boring, but it wasn't boring. I really liked it. It very much appealed directly to me. I'm taking a break by reading a different book. I have the next one in the series. But now this other book is like, can't you just get out of the way? I want to go read the second Foundation book. So, the Earthsea Quartet is more fantasy-esque, I guess. And more about, sort of, basically about a kid who can do some shit, like Dune kind of was. And that always appeals to me, even when it's Harry Potter. I'm sorry, but it's true. I'm ashamed, but that's fine. But the Foundation trilogy, it's not a trilogy, it's a series, is very serious in that it's sort of politicsy and in that way oriented. So choose one and report back with your enjoyment factor. I really don't care very much about money. I know people who are going to work really, really hard to get really, really shit jobs to earn them a shitload of money. I don't want to do that because it's shit. I just want to do something that I enjoy doing, hopefully, maybe, or something that just gets me enough money to get by on, and hopefully isn't killing me in the process. So, if I was dating someone and they were really, really, really rich, that would be fucking awesome. Equally, if I was really rich, I would share the money liberally with whoever I was with, and if they had a problem with that, I'd think they were stupid. So, yes, I would. Yes, I did, and I'm gonna build another one pretty soon. I have some parts here. Here is one of the parts. Oh, the K. Look at the K. Just look at it. Oh, fuck. And I think this looks fucking retarded. G-Skill. I almost bought different RAM that was £6 more expensive just because it looked less extremely retarded. But I didn't, because that would be stupid. Really, I just need some tape. Just tape it down like this, and just walk around like that, and then I won't have such a huge nose problem, and I'll save a lot of money in the process. The only thing I care more about than biscuits is cake. So this is a tough question for me, because there's such a wide variety of biscuits available to my chomping mouth, and my phone keeps doing that even though no one's trying to call, trust me. My favourite biscuit, I really like gingerbread men. Does that count as a biscuit because it is a man? I also really like digestive biscuits, plain chocolate digestive biscuits, and plain chocolate hobnobs. This is the symbol for plain chocolate, somehow. I'm just picking up on it instinctually from my past life as a deaf person. And I also really like Fox's biscuits that are just insanely fucked. I just had a packet, and they're gone now, and I miss them. Insanely fucked, just like fat and chocolatey and like blah, and you want to eat them all. It's kind of like Pokemon, but you eat them. And I really like fat cookies like this big, as wide as my face, from supermarkets that you get in packs of 5. Woo! And I really like all manner of fucking biscuits. Oh my god, I love biscuits so much. I think talking about specific sections of the game is sucky because it's spoilery, and I think anybody going into it should try and know nothing about it, or, you know, the vague premise of it's kind of fucking scary, and just go in on it from there, from that angle. But, it's fucking great. Initially, I didn't play the first one for ages, and then I finished it the other day, and I moved on to the second one. And obviously Amnesia is on the horizon, and that's originally the reason I was playing them. I was just like, fuck, just gotta get through to Amnesia. I'm interested in these games kinda, but I just want to get through to Amnesia, but actually these games are fucking awesome. And that is my impression in general, I think. I really like the way it's written. I like the design of it, I guess. Initially not so much, it can be a bit of a grind, but it's kind of cool. I really like getting to new rooms where you feel safe and you can just look around and stuff. It really creates a sense of when you're not in a room that you know is safe, which I like about a game. Dead Space did it quite well too. So yeah, I would say recommended highly, most highly. I hope you enjoy it. I mean, obviously you've played it, but I mean anybody who hasn't played it. Pterodactyls. Roughly 4 or 5 pterodactyls. And 1 chick. There's obviously lots of weird shit on the internet, because it's the fucking internet. Beanie Pain Olympics, I guess that's kind of porn. And everything in between. Nothing very frightening has happened to me, so I find it difficult to know what I do. This is knowing. Oh my god, my hand skills are off the fucking chart today. I think I would freeze, and I'll tell you why I think this. Yesterday, I was gonna go have a shower, and then I got hiccups. And I froze. I just stayed here, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till these hiccups finish, because I don't really want to have a shower while I've got hiccups. You know you can fix hiccups immediately by drinking out of a glass backwards, but for some reason, I froze. Actually, I just went back on the internet, I was just like, eyebrows. I was terrified, I'm telling you now, and I froze, so that's it. Okay, well here's a little bonus, because although I think these things that I eat are cakes that I want to talk to you about, they are sort of biscuity. So there's a divide there where I might not dump them in the cake category, and might not dump them in the biscuit category if I was thinking about either side of the category, which is there's a line between it. Thornton's caramel shortcakes. I mean, all caramel shortcakes. Well, not all, but a fair number are fucking mind-blowing. It's a layer of biscuitiness, and a layer of caramel, and a layer of chocolate. Have you come across this? It's fucking amazing. It has a considerable part to play in my biscuit life, if indeed it is a biscuit. I've read I, Robot by Asimov, but I haven't read the Robot series, and in all honesty, it doesn't draw me inexorably towards it, because robots, meh. I could see why I, Robot was important in sci-fi, just to sort of get that stuff ironed out, and it was cool to see. It sort of felt, you know, it's just very basic, but incredibly necessary to build a lot of things on. So is the Robot series more of that, just like more a different way of illustrating those rules, or is it more bulky? I don't know, I can't feel too compelled to read it right now, but maybe with added information I could be compelled wholeheartedly towards it. The only other book by Asimov that I've read is The End of Eternity, which I enjoyed, because it's about time travel, and that gives me a massive boner every time. When I played Morrowind, when I started playing Morrowind, because I didn't get very far, I'd never played something on such a massive scale before, and it was like, whoa, what the fuck, and I felt way in over my head, which is, you know, weird to think of now, but I've never done anything like it. And I joined a guild, and I was just like, what have I done? I don't know if I even want to be in this guild, and I had to do all this stuff, and it's like, crushing weight of responsibility, and I just fucking left that shit behind. Just tucked it away and tried not to think about it ever again. So thanks for bringing that back. And Oblivion, I played a little bit of, and it was just like, blah, blah, and I fell asleep vomiting. Hopefully Skyrim can give me something that I'll enjoy. Yes, but it has become knowledge that my arcade stick, which is the one you get for 360, that's cheap and nothing like the amazing ones you have, fuck you. The light kick button is kind of fucked, so if you are getting Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition for PC and you play me, the fact that I have lost is in part due to the fact I haven't played it for months and months, but also owing to the fact that I have to have extra added skill, because that light kick button is a beast, and you have to give it a strong fingering for it to do its job. The thing about my thumb is that it's kind of like a finger. Observe. It's quite long. I mean, maybe you're not getting it so well, but there you go. It's kind of finger-like, maybe in a freaky way, like anti-Megan Fox, but finger. Finger thumb, they call me. It's a moniker I've taken and made my own. No, I really haven't. I've never been called that, basically, is what I'm saying. So, in a thumb war, I can reach, so far. So as long as they're not doing the illegal thumb maneuvering, I will quite likely grab them and take them down. But if they're much stronger than me, then they're going to be able to get out of that. So yes and no, I'd say. Well, I kind of didn't include the shit porn, the puke porn, the piss porn. That's not even weird anymore. It's a fucking category on every website, almost. Dinosaur porn, though, that's fucking... It was a surprise, whereas the things you've listed would not be. This. Which maybe you can see what that is, yep. There you go! And according to the box, it has swift intelligence, which means it's really fast at being smart, despite being an empty piece of plastic. But it also is secure mobilization, because it's got handles. So this is my most recent treat. And another treat is coming tomorrow morning. Maybe even 3 treats if you include thermal paste as a treat, which I most certainly do. My internet's being a massive jerk right now, so hopefully this goes through. Hi. The computer is tower. That fucked up. The computer case is a mid-tower. Just watch this again and watch how much I just completely failed at saying that the first time. You can look up the measurements if you like. It's a Cooler Master Storm Scout. It's a scout because you can, like, move it and shit. Yeah. Mobility and swift intelligence. Yeah. I assume you're talking about the what was my last treat I bought question. No, I didn't ask myself that, although it may seem that way, because obviously I'm going to jerk off all over my new case on the internet. Actually, it was asked by Shoyu Dan, and other people answered it as well because it was a mass question, which validates my claims. And how dare you think that of me? I hadn't even considered that that was what was happening. No, it doesn't disturb me, because I guess whenever I go on the internet, my disturb fields just spontaneously shut down. That hair doesn't even seem to be mine. You can't see it. I don't know what I'm showing you. No, it's not difficult. It's basically slightly more stressful, slightly more fiddly Lego, and anyone can do it. It's definitely worth the initial amount of stress for the years of joy it gives you. The mouse is fine. The keyboard, also fine. From the surface. The WASD keys have a kind of... They look like they are instilled with indelible grease, a finger sweat that has permeated the layers of plastic to find a permanent home. But other than that, it's fine, just some slight a bit of dust. And let's not even think for a moment what could be lurking under those keys. You know the Happy Birthday song? Is that sung in slowed down monotone throughout the lands? I think it is. I think it has, because Michael Jackson copyrighted the Happy Birthday song, so I couldn't sing it anyway, so I'd probably end up getting sued by a dead man. But, you know, I hope you have a happy birthday if that's what you want to do. Whoop whoop! I'm really excited to play Red Orchestra 2. It's taking for fucking ever to come out. There was a message on the Steam forum, well, Steam community, Red Orchestra 2 community, say the official one, and it seemed to suggest that it would be out in 2 to 3 months. And I'm so excited about that. Please come out soon, and please also come out before Battlefield 3. Seems like it should do. But I could do a little leeway, I think, there. Slip it in. I don't even mind if we can't, because we will. At length. Every orifice. You know that what you've described there is you being bad at a game? I'm not sure if you're aware of that. It doesn't seem like you are. Personally, I really loved TF2 before it became Hatsville and Buy Shit Manco. The game itself was great fun, but you do have to get good at it, and there are different classes that you have to play very differently, and it's super multifaceted and super deep gameplay because of it. But how you describe that, you haven't described anything wrong with the game, you've described something wrong with you, and that's that you're shit at it. Sorry. I spent the afternoon reading reviews online of prostitutes in my area, and while it's perhaps not as succinct as a joke might be, in terms of retelling, or even hearing initially, it was pretty funny. I only read the bad reviews as well. I recommend it. You played against bots, and 2 are enough to instantly kill you. Huh. I guess you're right, the game is shit. I don't really see how it could have not been shit. Like, if it wasn't shit, I don't know, I just can't even imagine that reality ever existing anywhere. No matter how many different quantum worlds there are, somehow that would always have been avoided. Otherwise, it sounds like this. Hi, I know. You shouldn't do that. I don't want that to happen. It will make me feel like a dickhead. I put games on my wishlist so I know where they go on sale, and so that the developers know I give a fuck. I do those tests when I'm bored, and I get INTJ and INTP. So apparently I'm both, but not simultaneously. Just, I take turns with the J and the P and the PJs. I'm afraid I don't actually use foundation. I mean, in the summer I feel like it because I have freckles and they make me look like a filthy peasant. But I haven't done yet. So I'm absolutely no use whatsoever. I'm sorry. Yeah, I will be going to the Eurogame Expo. I've gone every year since I've been in London. And although it's usually kind of depressing in some way, there's always something nice to see or do. And it's just cool going to such a massive nerd fest. So yes, I'll be there. Are you going to be there? Are you going to be looking around for me? If so, come say hi, because it's a safe environment and I won't feel scared. Is this even a real question? My favourite swear word, nearly prematurely ejaculated then, is fuck. Fuck, it's great. I love fuck. I know that this is a mass question sent to the entirety of the website, Steve Spurgat, but I feel like saying yeah. I think the updates are fucking great. Congratulations. I've never bought a game from GOG.com, Good Old Games, which I don't feel very good about. I think I should have bought something from there by now, but I haven't. I was going to buy XCOM when it was on sale, but then I forgot. Because it's not blaring in my face like Steam is. I love Steam blaring in my face, don't take that the wrong way. But yeah, I missed out. My wrist really hurts, and not from me much. I've been playing Bit Trip Run like too much, and my wrist hurts, and I haven't gone outside in a long time, and I'm feeling a little bit like I'm made of a computer, or, you know, tomorrow I should go outside. Yes. I bought a book by Ian M. Banks called Consider Phlebas, I don't know, from a book sale thing that was outside in the heat, in the sun. It was a good book thing outside in the heat and the sun, but it was more than I expected to pay. Anyway, that's a book I'm planning to read. I also have a pile of sci-fi that I plundered from my dad when I went back home for a little while. So there's those. But yeah, Ian M. Banks, I've only ever read his fiction, and I think I only ever read The Wasp Factory. And I didn't really like it at the time, but it stuck in my mind so much because it's such a weird book that I think that makes it good. I did enjoy it, but it was just like, what? It was quite a few years ago. But anyway, I'm really interested to read his science fiction. So that's an book. I love the Steam calculator because it's such a fucking lie. Every game I've bought, almost, has been in a sale. So what it says there, I can safely shove away from my brain, even though the actual number probably isn't that far away, but hey, some people have expensive drug habits and they spend a lot more than I ever have. Plus the fact I don't drink. I don't drink, guys. I don't drink, and that means I save so much fucking money you wouldn't even believe it. So I don't drink, I play games. That works. This is a difficult one to answer because, okay, so Isaac Newton gave us calculus, which is pretty handy, but Leibniz developed calculus independently somewhere else, I think around the same time or slightly after. So the thing with that is that if it would have been developed otherwise, even if he hadn't existed, then it depends what you mean by greater impact. Like calculus, I think, is more... Okay, so I'm going to assume you mean the person Isaac Newton. So he developed calculus, and so did someone else. Therefore, forget Newton. It would have happened anyway. But with Einstein's theories of relativity, I think the way he came to it, and I'm incredibly impressed by Einstein's existence and what he did and what his brain worked like. And I think it doubtful that anybody else would make such leaps for, you know, my lifetime at least. So I think impact, badly framed question for my purposes, but I'm going to say Albert Einstein anyway. Before it became an avalanche of maths, it was much less specialist, so the things you do would be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, little tasters of things that are interesting, like at college, and now it's just like, one thing forever, going deeper, and a lot of those things that we're going deeper on are fucking boring as shit. And therefore, the avalanche of maths is also boring as shit. So, yes, physics was more fun before I started studying at university, because we got to do all the fun shit and didn't have to dwell so much on the massively boring side of it. Yep, I have a massive soft spot for pop punk. And Blink-182 fit in a soft spot, nestled in with a bunch of other pop punk. I had to go through quite a few pages to find this question. I didn't want to just send it to myself, and I could have made it better as well and actually had it be a question and not just a statement. Anyway, the point is, I'm now doing this, so you can go to youtube.com/RosePlaysGames and watch me play games. Whoring it out all fucking day. It's over now though, it's over. It's horde everywhere. I'm done. Thank fuck. I grew up with two younger brothers, so yeah, of course I've been punched in the face, but for no other reason than being someone's big sister. Is it because I seem like an elitist dickhead? I really like Death Is Not Glamorous, Tiger's Jaw, The Movie Life, NoFX, Saves the Day, Set Your Goals, I Am the Avalanche, Fireworks. Is that enough? I think this list has gone on for long enough. Even though the list extends beyond that, I'm gonna just draw it to a close. The list has ended. They're fun. They're genuine, actual fun. They're fun. I mean, they're only fun when you actually try. I used to just be a button masher, an occasional button masher in a few fighting games, and that's not very fun. There's some fun, but it doesn't last very long, and especially not when you're playing someone who's in anywhere near decent. But once you actually start learning moves, you start to appreciate the skill involved in fighting games, and that appeals to me hugely. And winning games is just incredibly satisfying, and makes you want to play more and to get better and to win more. It's a great genre avenue of game. Awesome fun. Massive learning curve. Good thing. I'm delighted to hear it. I like hearing these things that people are telling me about how my videos have actually affected them into positive actions like building their own PCs, because they see how easy it is. Super awesome. The whole endeavour has been validated already. Because I'm 8 years old. You're correct. I'm from Somerset, and I do have a faint hint of West Country, and it's not going to go away, I don't think. Most of the time I don't notice it, but sometimes I do notice it, and sometimes other people notice it, as in this instance. That is the world of my accent. Red Orchestra 2. I did an interview for Ready Up with the Vice President of Tripwire, whom are making it. You can read if you're interested. It looks fucking awesome, it looks amazing. The new screenshots, hub. I'm just generally incredibly excited for it, and I can't wait till it comes out. I don't know, little from column A, little from column B. It's impossible to tell, really, isn't it? Yeah, I bought 13 games, and I'm going to try and remember them now. I bought Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, but that wasn't in the sales, that was just a 4-pack, but it occurred during the sales, so I'm going to say it. Okay, now the tough shit starts. Bit Trip Runner, The Witcher 2, Loom, Nick's Quest, Inside a Starfield Sky, Hamilton's Great Adventure, Magica, shit, Syra. Okay, there are 3 more that I can't remember. You can't see me. So I looked at your Steam and you played it for 1 hour. In the first hour, I think I was enjoying it. The thing with the game is that it's made a world that no other game really has, which is incredibly, I mean, I haven't played Fallout, but I still don't think it would do it as well because it's polished. There's a thing about Stalker that it's not incredibly polished. And that's what lends itself incredibly well to the environment that needs to be created, which is post-apocalyptic wasteland. Everything's so fucking desolate. It's just, oh man, just the world that it is amazing. And whenever I play it, I haven't played it for ages, but you just get sucked in, and it just feels so affecting and awesome, and everything feels just like you can't trust anything in the game. I really like it. I think it's awesome, but if you're not enjoying it now, you might not ever. Sucks to be you. I've re-asked myself this question. The sin, I've done it because I forgot to say some things. I'm running a mod on mine, or was running a mod on mine, the 2009 Complete mod. I think they've brought out a new version of that, the 2012 mod, because they're ahead of us in time. And that makes that sort of as a graphical overhaul and better textures and things like that, so it's very worth doing. But another thing, I heard someone in a podcast once, I can't remember which podcast, so I just direct you to it, but he was talking about, he put on a realism mod, or the realism mod on his Stalker, and that means you have to be at a camp at night basically, otherwise you will die and you sleep through the night because it's just a shit time to be alive. But he was very weak because he'd run out of food, and you need food to survive in that, with the realism mod. And no one was giving him any food, so he sort of watched someone from the shadows. He watched them by the fire, and then he waited until they went to bed, and then he followed them into their tent and killed them and stole their food and ate it. And I think a game that makes somebody do that and feel guilt for it as well is a pretty great game. The fact that an 11-year-old is watching my videos and deciding that I might be a good source of advice is quite frankly worrying. I'm not a good person. I'm not acceptable in our society. This isn't okay. Don't do anything I say ever. But good luck. I hope someone else can help you. Those are just most of the questions I'm getting at the moment. You could ask me something else instead of just fucking bitching. I consider myself to be something of an outsider, because a lot of people like a lot of shit things, and I don't really like things that are shit. But there's also another part of it that is a human thing, and I see it, you know, on the internet and in life. People like to like things collectively. They like to sort of homogeneously like things, and it kind of heightens, I mean obviously there's a lot of conflict that goes on as well, but this is something I see. It sort of heightens their enjoyment of something when they're talking to a lot of people who like the same thing, or just some people. Whereas for me, I don't get any benefit out of that. If I like something, I'll like it, and talking about it, whatever, okay. So I think I'm something of an outsider, but not in an isolated sense. Does that compute at all? I don't know if I'm making any sense at all, but have a grasshopper anyway. I really liked Puronage. It went a bit shit towards the end, but at the start it felt awesome to be watching Puronage. And there was nothing at all like it at the time, especially because there was so much PC stuff. When it kind of went away from the PC, it was a bit like But I started watching their TV show that they had aired in Canada or something, And I liked it. I watched the first few episodes. I was like, yeah, this is alright. It was much better. I thought it was just going to be shit, but it was okay. But I haven't watched the rest of it, which I plan to sometime. So, although I do miss it and that the time that it existed, I also have stuff from that time, well, from more recently, that I haven't seen yet. So I don't miss it as such. I'm not a good person for this because I don't find many things scary because I'm fucking badass, obviously. I don't know, I just don't. So it wasn't scary to me. But I liked it. Anyway. I'm just going to give you the standard explanation that you've probably heard already. So, here's a 2D plane. Okay? On this 2D plane, you can have a reflection of a cube, and that's just your standard line drawing of a cube. But okay. So in that way, you can see the third dimension, kind of. If you have a comprehension of what 3 dimensions look like, then you'll understand what that drawing is. So in that way, from a 2D plane, you can view 3 dimensions. Similarly, from the 4th dimension, we can have a sort of... If you check out Hypercube, you have to see the Hypercube in 3D really, but I mean if you check out a picture, you'll sort of be able to gather it a bit. That's the equivalent of a line drawing of a cube, but of a hypercube, which is a 4th dimensional cube. And another thing to think about is that here's a 2D plane, and we're in 3D. So if we were to pass through this 2D plane, imagine there's some little flatlanders on here, living on their 2D plane. If I was to put my hand through like this, they would see rings, right, of my weird fingers coming through the page. I don't know if that makes sense. So somebody could theoretically, from the 4th dimension, pass through the 3 dimensions we have in a similar way, and we'd see like weird shit going on. I don't know if that's helpful at all. There's a really good book called... I don't remember what it's called. If you want to read it, then ask me this question again, and I will find out. Okay, it's called Surfing Through Hyperspace, Understanding Higher Universes in 6 Easy Lessons by Clifford A. Pickover. The cops are onto you though, so you better hurry up. I'm quite ragey, which lends itself well to the mass spree killing side of things, but I don't want to go to jail or die, essentially. So the methodical side of things, the serial killing angle, will probably help in those aims. But I mean, seriously, I don't think I have that sort of malicious foresight. I can't plan it out so strategically and surgically. It's just going to be a moment of abject insanity, so I think I'm just going to have to accept my fate of the mass spree killing shit. Not really. A bit. Kinda. I mean, I think I'm a bit of a bad person on the internet because it's more amusing to me personally. And that's an aspect of me. And also I think I'm kind of a bad person slightly in real life. Sometimes. So, yeah, I'm horrible. The Pano. I'm really good at playing the Pano. It's just making other people hurt. I don't really know. I'd assume we're pretty confined, but assuming makes an ass out of you and me. So let's not do that. Like, a lot of maths and physics is just jerking off to me. Well, not jerking off, just partaking, as I've stated previously, in a particularly involving Sudoku puzzle. But maybe it'll get us somewhere. Maybe it'll get us nowhere. Maybe we'll be able to see. Maybe we won't be able to see. It's the beauty of science, we don't know what the fuck. I've adjusted the camera so that we can check this out experimentally on the field in my bedroom. You can see the tip of my bed, but please ignore it, and just watch the glory that is me possibly touching my toes in a second. I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can't see my toes, so you're just going to take my word for it when I do it. Ready? I'm touching my toes. I actually am. Seems like a lie, but it's not. Unfortunately, that means you've just missed the best thing that's ever been on this thing. Whatever the fuck this is. I'm sorry. That's a no and a yes, respectively. You should research some of this stuff on youtube.com/coppercab. He clears a lot of things up. Gingers apparently actually do have souls, which I personally didn't know. I noticed that someone asked me how I cut my fringe before. It might have been you. But I was going to wait until I was going to cut it to show you. But fuck it, it doesn't seem to be happening. Basically, I get the scissors and I get bits of my hair and I do this with the scissors, sort of cut slowly and go upwards like this. So it sort of grinds along it and cuts it off at uneven angles and just go along doing that with the scissors along like this. So it's all sort of kind of a similar length, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to the side anyway, so you can't actually tell either way. Yeah, that's my technical tips for you. Yeah. Not Rod Stewart. Oh no 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 no. Don't tell me it's not worth trying for. You can't tell me it's not worth dying for. You know it's true. Everything I do it for you. What does this even mean? Does it mean like in the time I've been making videos you think my face has changed, or do you think I just have a general look of somebody who's had plastic surgery? Totally confusing. I've never had plastic surgery, believe it or not. Don't have that kind of money, for one thing. South Park. I really like The Simpsons. I like old Simpsons though. I don't like new Simpsons. I feel like it went to shit and they didn't care. I don't know, like, just went wacky as fuck. I understand that they had no storylines left, basically, because they've done everything in the world, but it's still, like, they could have finished, they could have stopped making it instead of just poof. But South Park has, I feel like it's had integrity throughout. It's, even when it's not funny, I don't hate it, and although the previous season wasn't hilarious, the final episode, well, of the final episode of that section series, I assume, was very good, and, like, just makes you believe in the show and in the people who are behind the show. It feels very genuine. Futurama I do like. I have a fondness. Well, I like it. I don't love it. It's quite funny. I quite like it. It's alright. And SpongeBob, it had its time for me. Like, I went through when I first saw it on TV, it was like, yeah, it's pretty good. Has touches of Ren and Stimpy, which are always welcome, but not enough. And meh. Had its day, I think. So South Park. The excitement scale for BF3 is sort of decreasing, like a point a month, it seems. First, the like pre-order DLC kind of shit. Didn't like that. Splintering the community from an early juncture. Now the Origin stuff, not on Steam thing. Don't know what the story is with that, but I don't like it. And I don't have much faith in EA, and I really want to play Red Orchestra 2, and that's far outweighing my excitement for Battlefield 3. But I hope it works out and is good, but it's just getting harder and harder to have faith that that's the case. Yeah, I saw this, it's gone now. Which is sad. I found out that I have a lazy eye from that thread. Everyone was very helpful, because knowledge is power. It's good for me to know these things. It's also good for me to know that I have a Jew potato nose. That's what I learned last time. I don't really care about Bear Grylls. It's partly to do with the fact that he was staying in a hotel when he said he was staying in the wild, and his integrity is just completely shot from that point on. But it's mostly because Ray Mears. I really like all the tips I got on the video. Yeah. The thing is, though, they laid some eggs, like, before I had the chance to do anything about them. I was going to wait till the kids flew away, because I'm not that heartless, just semi-heartless. You can't be semi-less. Moving on. So I was waiting till the kids flew off, and the kids flew off, and it's like, sweet. But in the one-day window they left, there were already eggs laid. It's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, and I felt like I couldn't do anything about that, but they seem to have abandoned the eggs. Which they don't do, I'm telling you now. I've watched the life of several pigeons over several months. Well, these pigeons. And they like to sit on those eggs. They like to never leave them. But it seems that they want them dead as much as I do. which is handy, but at the same time I don't know what to do. Like, suspended animation eggs, or what the fuck? Can I just toss them into the street and sprinkle pepper and fairy liquid the whole place up, or is that... I don't know. I don't know. Bit Trip Runner is an amazing game. Have you played it? Shut the fuck up, really. That's what I'm saying to you now. Here, hi, bye. Yeah, I do wonder. Especially, like, I don't know if it's the same person asking lots of questions. I think often it is, or sometimes it is. But I don't fucking know. I wish there was some distinguishment, even if it was Anonymous 1, Anonymous 2. But then that would kind of sully the anonymity aspect, wouldn't it? You'd be matched with your other questions, even though I don't know who you are. But there's a way to build up a profile on you that way, isn't there? Isn't there? So yeah, I don't know who you are. Shift key makes me feel like it's an effort, you know. I like to... I don't like this dual wielding of keys. It seems disingenuous to me. At least that way I could tell people that I once ate my neighbour's children. I think it'd be pretty fucked up, but I am tempted. My song of the now is Wolves at the Door by David Bazan. Before I called him Paul Bazan in another video. I'm very sorry, David. Your name is clearly David. David Bazan, Wolves at the Door. I have it lower than I used to have it. It's difficult to tell about like an objective mouse sensitivity scale because there's like the innate sensitivity level on the mouse with the plus and minus buttons, well it's DPI but it works in a similar way, and then there's like Windows sensitivity, the base, and then that's kind of low, and then games as well. You said it, I said it. So I don't know where I would lie on the old objective scale. Because when you go on old people's computers, it's like, it's hard work getting across the screen, and that's like a million miles away from what I am at. But yeah, I used to think it was really good to have high sensitivity in FPS, and I've since realised that's completely wrong. There's much more of a margin of error when you have it on extremely high sensitivity, and you get more... It's easier to learn how far distances are on your hand mat compared with the pixel space world. I'm really tired. Sometimes I do sad faces, and sometimes I do winking faces. Sad faces when I'm sad, winking faces when I'm using it for comic effect of some ilk. In the case of me and my hands, which are bigger than my whole face, yeah, I think it's weird. It depends why you're doing physics. If you're doing physics because you want to have fun in class, then, yeah, fuck it. But if you want to do it at uni, then you should carry on doing it. I feel like if you have an interest in physics, not doing it just because there's 3 girls in there, you could bang them all. Remember that. You might regret that. You might regret not doing it just because there's 3 girls, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you'll regret banging them at all. I didn't get the memo on this guy, but whatever. I choose Smiley Joker Scar on one side of mouth because that's, like, nothing. It completely wins. Not really, no, because I always hear bad things about Crossfire and SLI, that a lot of games, my throat still, a lot of games don't work with it, can't utilise it very well. It only has a frame rate increase of like marginal percentage and doesn't seem worth it. I'd rather just get a more beefed up card. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What blue dye did I use? I used Blue Velvet by Special Effects and also Wild Flower by Special Effects. I think I sort of mixed them sometimes, or sometimes Blue Velvet's really dark blue, but if you, like, after you've bleached your hair, it's often not, you know, it's not white. So if you put a really dark blue on it, it's super dark, but then it will stay blue for longer even if you like lighten the colour a bit later. Him. No, never. I don't really treat them. Sometimes I squeeze them. That's about it. Apparently I look like a sloth. And in order to imitate a sloth, you do this. Are you ready? Abort mission immediately. Down the stairs. With a coat hanger. No. It amazes me that anyone would think it was possible. Literally the only reason I did it is because I enjoy it. I wasn't thinking of any career or anything. I just thought it was like the epitome of a challenge and something that was very interesting to me as well. I think that's a pretty good reason to do it, actually. But if you have a career-oriented thing as well, it's probably even more of a good choice. I don't think you're really missing out on much, but there's a lot of questions now. I say questions like questions. I know this every time, but it's just an automatic thing. Oh man. No, I should at least finish saying something. I think if you could see them though, it would be an entirely different website. It would be more of a message board kind of thing. Comments. Shall I stop doing this now because it's going all the way down a very long hill? So this is in response to me talking about, I can't actually remember what I said, but I think it's something about I'm a pseudo-solipsist. So that's just regular solipsism, what you talk about. But pseudo-solipsism is where you realise it's not true, but you tune into that frame of mind anyway, for kicks. I like this because when you talk with these in, your voice is like all-encompassing. Do you know, my ears were blocked completely with wax once, and all I could hear was my own voice, essentially. I talk more about that, but it's kind of gross, so I'll actually answer the question that I clicked on. PC isn't all that. I like the just lack of anti-PC inherent in that sentence. Like, someone saying something isn't all that. You're not even saying it's bad. It's the most timid and weak. I don't know, maybe it's an actual sentiment that you feel. But you know what? You're wrong. I use Vegas Video for video editing because it's pretty intuitive. I've never had to, well, not really. Occasionally maybe look something up, how to do something. Usually you can figure it out just from looking through menus and stuff, which I like. Like I tried Adobe Premiere once and was just like, what the fuck? I don't know, maybe if I tried it now after trying Vegas Video for a while, I'd be able to, but I don't know. It just seemed rather baffling and not immediately obvious what was going on. And I'm not into that. So yeah, Vegas Video. Sony Vegas Video is why I use that. It's good, if it works, it's fine. Audio editing, Audacity. I haven't really strayed from Audacity, which is like free. Not that I paid for Vegas Video. Come on. And image editor, Photoshop. But I don't really, well, can't really think of anything you've possibly seen that I've done on Photoshop. But yeah, I do use it sometimes for that. I'm not into it at all. And the argument about you move your neck back, so you should know. Just know. It sounds sort of militaristic, like the debris left over from firing a cannon or something. I'm gonna look it up. It depends a lot on context and rationale. Did you do it just because you thought it'd be fucked up and like weird? Or did you do it because you were actually sexually aroused? context is crucial in answering this question. After mentioning the fact I'd bought a ticket for this show and saying it on VU, and then getting a message from you saying, "So are you going?" I purposely didn't answer because I thought it'd be weird as fuck if people showed up just because they knew I was going to be there. So I don't know, there was a bunch of guys on their own there, and every guy who looked at me or anything, I just assumed they knew I was there and they knew who I was on the internet, or like I thought at least one of them would have done, or did, but nobody seemed to. So, phew, that would be weird. But yeah, it was awesome. I had a really great time. Fun band, and they were saying in America they don't get anything like the same audience as they do in the UK, which is always really weird to hear and funny. Don't live in Elephant and Castle. I think that's one of the worst moves you can make. I mean, in my experience of being in London, Elephant and Castle is particularly no man's land-ish in my mind, although, you know, the bowling alley is fucking amazing. And otherwise, Hackney Wick is one of the most depressing places in the world, apart from, you know, the location in Stalker. Those are kind of vaguely comparable, except obviously the textures are much better in Stalker. Yeah, I do call them pips. Although not when in grapes. In grapes it's always seeds for some reason, I think because you can buy them seedless. And that's embedded in my mind. Seeds. Grapes, seeds. You know what, when you're away, they don't say seeded, no. Whenever I'm away, I always end up buying grapes and forgetting every time that they're full of shit. In Europe, they think it's weird that we can actually buy grapes here. I mean, someone watching this video is probably from somewhere in Europe and just thinking I'm an absolute, I don't know anything, because where they're from, they can get seedless grapes because they're not peasants. But okay, in peasant lands, and if you're in a peasant land without seedless grapes, then yeah, you're a peasant. I'm not gonna backtrack on that one. I always forget, and then they're full of shit, and it's saddening. I remember sitting on a step in Spain. Where was it? I remember exactly what the street looked like. I think it was Seville. And I sat on a step to eat my grapes, and carefully, you know, got out all the fucking seeds, and was placing them carefully on the step. And then the guy came out of the door. A guy came out of the door who lived there, and he was not happy with my existence or the existence of those seeds. I was gonna take them on my way, my merry way, but he couldn't foresee that. Anyway, he shouted a lot, but I couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying, so I was safe. So yeah, pips, when they're in fruit most of the time, but seeds when they are or are not in grapes. Pip pip. Yeah, I am super tired. My tiredness seems to sort of carry over days, like, it just does. That's what it does. It's what it likes to do. So yesterday I moved out of London town and didn't get enough sleep. I got like 4 hours sleep. And actually yesterday I felt alright, but today, forget it. Forget about it immediately. So yeah, I'm sleepy as fuck. But the night is young. So maybe I'll have some cup of tea and some cake and some wakey, play some games, because at the moment I'm like, don't even have the strength to double click on a game on Steam, which is a sad state of affairs. Please no. Diddy? Hello? He's a dog. Come and say hello. He's a dog. See, come on. You can see us, alright. Hello, dog. Dogs. You're a dog. You're a fucking dog. It's amazing. We're astounded. Jay. Come here. That's some severe disinterest going on there. Anyway, just come and say hi and we can shake hands. We can shake hands instead, because that's far more civilized. I don't think they're comparable in the slightest. It's my dog that I've had for 12 years. 12 years. Or a stranger at a game expo who wants to hug me for no other reason than they've seen me on the internet. That's weird. And although maybe there is a slight peppering of autism on the meal that is me, I don't think that's making itself apparent in my response to that. I turned the light on for this response and everything. This is my bow, and I'm going to show you how to string it. So you just up through it here, like that, and then this bit goes over your leg, and then you pull this bit down, and there's a bow for you to pull. I haven't really done much archery since I was at Sussex, because they had a archery club there, and then when I moved unis they didn't have an archery club the first year. They do now, but they always meet at really stupid times when I'm busy. So I only ever really shoot my bow when I'm back here in the countryside and can go into fields and stuff. Like last summer I went into a field and just shot all my arrows as high and far as they would go, and it was super awesome. I really liked being in the archery club though, because the archery guy there always talked about how amazing my form was, and it made me feel awesome. But I always feel like I should really try hard to get back into it, but I'm always really busy during school, and I don't. Plus my arrows have mysteriously disappeared. I feel like I might have left them in the previous flat, but I feel like they would have phoned me and said, "Yeah, Rose, you left your arrows," because we have like no use for them. It's weird. But I very much like my bow. You can get bows that are more expensive with sights and things, but I prefer bare bow. And I really like Korean bows too. So that's my bow story. Has this happened? Is this you? I'd like to know if it is, not because I'm gonna beat you down or anything. Like, I wouldn't feel betrayed. I'd feel weird and it would be quite funny. But I wouldn't feel like, I could understand it, because I might do the same in a similar position. So yeah, if this is true, let me know. If it's a hypothetical, also let me know. Because I quite like to keep on top of that shit, knowing who knows what. Although I did find out yesterday that my mum has watched my videos, which is extremely fucking weird. It's like Barbie, but with a weird... oh my god. I'm not into it, I gotta say. Like, it's impressive that there's the waist and shit going on, and totally looks like a chick. A very Barbie chick, but yeah, weird face and everything. It just looks like, okay, this chick's had a lot of plastic surgery, but it's just flapping around. Shiny worm. And it's completely repulsive to me, but I know a lot of people like that shit. So I don't really know what more to say about that. It's amazing that I was able to give somebody some sort of advice. I didn't even feel like it was very coherent, but that you've gone away and you've done what I said and it doesn't look shit. That's awesome. Looks good. Thanks for the link. I'm fulfilled. Was never a goal of mine, but I feel completely fulfilled in every one of my chakras. Just ate some cake and that was a good time. Thank you for the link. Why would you say that? Why would you ever say that? Doesn't it hurt your soul? Because it certainly hurts mine. I've been gifted 2 games ever. One was Shatter when it was on sale, and one was The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition. I don't want to be gifted games from random people on the internet. That's not something that has ever or will ever appeal to me. I have bought all my own games over a period of 7 years and built up a delicious collection. And yeah, I'm really not one of those people, and nor will I ever be. I don't pirate PC games because I want more PC games to be made. and the people who make those games deserve my money. This isn't true at all. I don't know if you're lying or genuinely mistaken. I just hope that other people have been stalking me to a slightly higher caliber than you've managed to, and can verify at least to themselves that this isn't true. The problem is that I already own like all of the games there that I would want to own. I don't know, maybe the crayon thing. I'll have a look at that. But it just seemed, I don't want to then like throw off the average income because I'm just paying for one game because I already own them all. So it's like, yeah, maybe I'll just wait for a sale if it looks good. Yeah, I kind of want to. I just saw that Osmos got added today or yesterday, and that was fucking awesome. I love Osmos. So anybody watching this, check out Humble Indie Bundle 3. I want to make a video for Osmos anyway, so I might try and do that before it runs out. Okay, so the next time you're playing a game with them, just open up the message window and type CYBER